For you, this is ABC Action News.
Breaking overnight in Pinellas County, a woman attacked as she walked home. We're just off the phone with deputies. What I'm learning straight ahead.
A community spring minutes. Laura.
All right, thanks so much, Meredith. Breaking overnight, a Pinellas County woman is at Bayfront Medical Center after the sheriff's office says she was attacked by two men. Here's what we know right now for the attack. Our John Thomas is on the scene right now. They're collecting more information, and as soon as we get that information, we will bring it to you in a live update at 5:30. Dia?
A man rescued from his 911.
Happening today, the Tampa parents accused of kidnapping their children and sailing to Cuba in April are taking the next step in their journey to trial. Josh and Sharon Haken are scheduled for a disposition hearing at the Hillsborough County Courthouse, but still no word if they will be there or just their court-appointed lawyer. The two waived their right to appear in court back in May. They were arrested in April after allegedly kidnapping their two boys from their maternal grandmother's home and fleeing to Cuba. Also scheduled in Tampa today, a court hearing in the case of 41-year-old Stephanie Wilkerson. She's the Hillsborough County bus driver accused of literally kicking a young special needs child off a school bus last September. You see it there in that video. The student's leg was broken during that fall. Wilkerson is charged with aggravated child abuse.
Well, there was another big case that we're following this morning. The man charged with murdering a couple on a houseboat in the past.
This morning, Turkey's prime minister says he carried out his duty to deploy riot police to evict thousands of protesters who had taken over in Istanbul Park for 18 days. The activists are upset at plans to bulldoze that park. Now, the protests are still continuing elsewhere in Turkey. Overnight in the capital of Ankara, riot police using water cannons and tear gas to try and disperse a crowd of about 10,000 people. Earlier on Sunday, protesters tried to reach the city's main square to mark the death of a fellow protester. Developing in Afghanistan right now. Coming up on ABC Action News this morning, the economic reason that has Governor Scott in Paris, France right now.
Plus, a recall that parents need.
This is ABC Action News.
I'm Laura Harris. Dan Schaefer has the morning off. Coming up, the overnight ceremony lessening the role of U.S. troops in Afghanistan.
Good morning, I'm Dia.
All right, thanks, Meredith. Well, new this morning, a Pasco County man is in the hospital after deputies say he was shot Monday night. Now, I want to show you a map where deputies say all of this happened at on Pegasus Avenue. That's one block east of US 19 in Port Richey. Now, we called the Pasco County Sheriff's Office just a short time ago. They say it's still very early in the investigation. What they will tell us is the man was shot sometime after 9:30 last night, and that deputies are still trying to find the person who pulled that trigger. Still no word on the condition of that victim.
This morning, a man is.
New this morning, an explosion in the Afghan capital of Kabul has killed 3 people and wounded 30 others. The blast coming just hours before the ceremony to hand over security in the country to the Afghan police. This is video from that ceremony. We'll show you right here. The handover marks a significant milestone in the nearly 12-year war and a turning point for American and NATO military forces, which will now move entirely into a supporting role. It also opens the way for the withdrawal of coalition troops by the end of 2014.
This morning,
happening today in Boston, a former hitman will testify for a second straight day in the federal racketeering and murder trial of Whitey Bulger. Now, John Martirano, who named his youngest son after Bulger, testified he was heartbroken to learn in the late 1990s that he was working as an FBI informant. Martirano described how he committed a string of murders as part of Bulger's gang in the 70s. During cross-examination, Bulger's lawyers are expected to challenge Martirano's credibility and the deal he received from prosecutors.
And good morning, I'm John Thomas. He's having so much fun this morning.
And I'm Laura Harrison for Ashley. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll get to all of our top stories, including Sean, in just a little bit. But first, Bill Logan has your ABC Action weather forecast most accurate in the Bay Area.
And we're accurately.
All new this morning, we're learning more about a computer glitch that grounded hundreds of flights overnight. Southwest Airlines stopped 250 flights from taking off when they discovered the computer issues. Now, for hours, workers weren't able to check passengers in, print boarding passes, or even monitor the weight of planes. The glitch lasted for several hours, but early this morning, things started slowly getting back online. A spokesman for Southwest Airlines says they do not expect any cancellations.
His family camped there.
A 15-year-old boy is facing adult charges for allegedly mugging a 12-year-old at gunpoint and then attacking a police officer. The boy we're talking about is right here. Police say Latellis Everett tried to steal the 12-year-old's bicycle from the Citrus Grove neighborhood in St. Pete. When the victim refused,
Police say F913 now. If you're looking to upgrade to the iPhone 5, Best Buy has brought back their popular trade-in offer, and it's going on right now for customers, and they can trade in their iPhone 4 and 4S models at Best Buy stores and get a $150 credit that can be used to purchase a brand new iPhone 5. Best Buy is selling the 16-gigabyte iPhone 5 for $150.
Coffee Giant announced that some drink prices are going up 10 cents starting on Tuesday.
That's a venti raise.
Hey, the change affects less than a third of all their beverages, and the company says most stores, the prices will stay the same.
But here's the thing, they know they can do it because we continue to pay for it because we love it.
Coffee probably cost me a nickel.
It's not as good though. I promise you can't make it
wonderful.
as good.
Wonderful. No, it is. It's wonderful. Wonderful.
And sweet now that he's stirred it.
Aw, that's nice. You two are so.
Gosh.
You should check out the Facebook page. To the desk and going out to Sean.
All right, thanks so much, Bill. Well, Florida theme parks attract visitors from all over the world, worldwide.
Yeah, there's things constantly changing there. They're upgrading, they're adding new rides. We've been with Sean, and we've seen Disney, we've seen SeaWorld this morning. Now, Sean, you're going to Universal.
News app.
Back here in the Bay Area, a bullet flies through a Tampa woman's bedroom window. Now she says she's worried about her family's safety. Shirley Williams was in her living room when she heard a loud noise coming from her bedroom. When she went inside, she found glass all over the floor. Her dresser mirror had been shattered and a hole in the window. And that wasn't even. A Tampa man is behind bars this morning accused of robbing a Brandon restaurant and running from deputies. Take a look at this car. It's what deputies say Alan Stinson was driving after he robbed a Steak and Shake in Brandon. Happening today, Governor Rick Scott is set to sign a bill into law that changes the foster care system. This morning, he will sign the independent living bill. It will give young adults the option to remain in foster care until the age of 21. Another big story we're following closely this morning from overseas. The Taliban is taking credit for a deadly attack at a mountain base camp in Pakistan. This morning, at least 9 tourists are dead, including 1 American. This is an area that rarely sees violence, normally dressed as security officers. A Taliban spokesperson says the killings were retaliation for the death of one of its leaders by a U.S. drone last month. This morning, everyone is talking about daredevil and Sarasota native Nick Walinda's death-defying stunt. Walinda made history crossing a high wire 1,500 feet above the Little Colorado River Gorge. If you're not near your television, you need to get there right now so you can see this. You're watching him in action right here. Walinda walked the quarter-mile stretch in about 23 minutes. He was not wearing a safety harness. There was no net, and he says he likes it that way. For Walinda's next stunt, he hopes to walk between 2 skyscrapers in New York City.
Whew, a lot of folks on the edge of their seat last night. That's
All right, thanks, Meredith. Day 2 of testimony in the George Zimmerman murder trial starts in just hours. The jury will hear from 9 witnesses. Monday, the prosecution called 4. Both sides took a shot at the 911 operator who took Zimmerman's call that night. He testified he told Zimmerman not to follow Trayvon Martin. Much of the day was spent on opening statements, though. The state portrayed more on the case live from Sanford later in the newscast. Well, right now, 4 boys are facing burglary charges, but even more surprising is how they got caught. Our Rob Munoz is live in the newsroom right now, and Rob, deputies say these boys were specializing in all types of gadgets.
Yeah, that's right, Laura.
The controversial White House-backed immigration bill is now headed for the House of Representatives. An immigration bill calling for tightened security along the Mexican border passed the U.S. Senate on Monday. The amendment requires 20,000 additional border agents, more fencing, and more than $3 billion in technology upgrades. According to the proposal, illegal immigrants could become eligible for permanent residency after passing 5 conditions confirmed by security officials.
And that immigration bill isn't the only thing. All eyes will be on Washington for today. Supreme Court pray.
ABC Action News is taking action to protect you against identity theft. This weekend, you have a chance to safely dispose of those paper documents you need to get rid of. Well, you can bring up the